for chosen of the chosen few, and this beautiful sunlight that is kissing my skin right now, as I have to say for the second time. And I'm laughing because every time I'm to do this video, there is some kind of technical difficulty block. Like I'm telling you, before I even came on, I'm doing this live now, and I'm just gonna post it like the video, so whoever comes through, love and light to you. This Every time I've been doing this video, set out to do this video, it gets cut, it gets interrupted, something is orchestrating or whatever, collaborating to pose this block. So I just decided, you know what, we're going to go live. I was going to do a live anyway, but I really wanted to do this part 2 video. So as usual, I'm bringing you the news to infuse if you so choose to infuse with that light on a light grid, and if not, you can always refuse. But remember, be prepared to be fried on the grid. All right, so this live, ooh, Nafisa, peace, love, and light to you. As soon as I said live, I saw love. And this energy is bringing so much with the sun rising, and I really wanted to share these downloads, and as I said, it keeps getting chopped, so we're gonna give it to you here. We'll just post it afterwards. So those who are here live, you're gonna get this live, the information about the sun rising part 2. So I am Celestial Earth. If you have never been in here, welcome. Thanks for the hearts, love. That helps me to feel the pulsations of the earth, because the earth is heart, and we have just expanded our heart chakra. And you know what, I don't even feel like, now that I'm like, okay, I don't get to do the video, but I love live. I love doing lives because I get to interact with you, and it just feels more personal and more just on point, and feeling the energies around that. So right before going live, right before doing the video, before coming live, there was some things happening as I sat here in 5D, and 5D has never come, well, it has, but it really came alive so much more as I was sitting here. I was meditating, and as I opened my eyes and I could feel the information coming in, it was about the morphic field, and I'm gonna do a video about that, but it was highlighting to me what the morphic field is, and me sitting in the morphic field as me, like you are the field of information, you are that morphic field. And so I was getting information, channeling that through, and just really feeling the earth. And as I opened my eyes, it's like I could feel something. And when I opened my eyes, all the squirrels were going like this. It was 3 squirrels, and all of their tails were going like this, almost rhythmically, right? And they're just going around like, okay, my 5D creatures are here. That's my squirrels. They represent 5D for me. And the birds, the spiritual thoughts, for more 5D. But the squirrels were here first. One is still there. He's still sitting in the tree. Like when I'm out here meditating, they'll come and they'll eat their nuts. And then let me show you. Let me tilt it. He's still right there in that tree. The other 2 might have went away, but one of them, they always like to sit here with me. All right, so you can't tell me the animals don't feel. They don't feel them when your vibrations are just echoing and emanating. It's almost as if you and them are having a conversation. So I felt that, and I went back into meditation, and some other things were coming through. And then I got to a point where I'm seeing where, yeah, we need to shed the skin. It's time to really let go through the sacral chakra. It was highlighting to me what needs to happen through the sacral chakra, which I'm doing that workshop, a 1-day workshop tomorrow, and Spirit really put it on me heavy today, within the last 24 hours, to do it. I was going to put it off again. It was supposed to be this weekend. I'm still balancing, putting my life first, my household first, and just balancing practicality with the spirituality. And spirit has got me so busy. The spiritual realm has got me so busy. So there's been neglect in the practicality realm, and I have to balance that. So, putting off what you could do for tomorrow type of thing. Do you really need to do that now? Can you do that later? And I've been doing that, and I was doing that with the sacral workshop, but spirit is really pressing it upon me and saying, you have everything you need. You don't need to gather everything. You have everything you need, and you have everything that is a helpful tool to others, like right now in this situation, and I need you to do this now. So I'm not going to debate with spirit. So, Nafisa, welcome in. I know it's not a coincidence that you're here on this one in this live. Tomorrow we'll be doing a sacral, and that's going a sacral workshop, condensing everything into one day. It's a 3-day workshop that I would normally do at 33 for each day. So normally it would be either $66 or $99. I'm doing it all for 33 and putting everything in one day. So it's going to be a rapid pace. It's going to be a accelerated pace. There you go, an accelerated pace of the sacral workshop. And I'll do another one following up where we have time to really go through it. But it's guiding me that the information needs to be, shared right now. Ashe. It's not a coincidence. That's right, because there is no coincidence, no accidents, or no coincidence. It is a meaning within an incident. Not an incident as something wrong, but in a happening. When I hear incident, I hear the happening. So there's a happening right now. Ashe, ashe, and touche. Right, so feel free to tap in, email me, so that I can send you the coordinates, the Zoom link. And this is also a call to those who are feeling this awakening or this purification part of the awakening, and you may be feeling the in and outs and the vibrations and this sacral chakra, which is really going to help us balance and stabilize the nervous system through the emotional body. The sacral chakra is the emotional body, and it's saying it's time. That brings me to the next thing that happened. The lizard fell out of the tree, and that's when I was hearing it's time. It's time to let go of old wounds. It's time to face them and let them go, because they're held. Those emotions are held in our emotional body, and it becomes a pain body. And it shows up in the body because the body keeps the score. So this is going to help alleviate through understanding, through revelation, to let you know where this was picked up in your body, where it was. It's going to help you to process this emotion. And so this is really a workshop that is going to be like a catalyst and a bridge to those who are bridging themselves over into the 5th dimension, into the Aquarian age, into the Bronze age, that we are on our way into the Golden age. That is a Yuga cycle, right? I really need to do something on these cycles so we can understand these cycles, because there's the Yuga cycle that has the Iron age, Bronze age, on silver and gold. We're shifted into that. And then there's the stages, the ages, as in the age of the Ram, Piscean age, and now we're in the Aquarian age. Those ages that are 2,000 years each. It's the Yuga is a 24,000 year cycle, 12 to descend and 12 to ascend, and we just began the ascent. So, and then there's a solar cycle, which I'm speaking about now, the sun rising. And now that we're the part of our solar cycle that we're on is we're now on the ascension. We just came off the descension, the descending end, and now we are ascending, right? So there's a solar cycle as well, and this helps us with the codes that we're getting and unlocking the codes. So when I was thinking about that, the lizard dropped out of the tree, like boom, I just heard this thud that kind of jolted me a little bit out of the meditation, because I was deep in while thinking or hearing like this has to let go, like it's time to let that go. And as soon as I saw the lizard drop and he was just standing there, I was like, lizard, the shedding of skin. And the lizard fell. It's like, let that go. Whatever we're shedding, the message in that is whatever we're shedding, let it go. Like drop it out of the tree the way it fell, right? How often do iguanas, I'm not just talking about a regular lizard, I'm talking about a big iguana. How often do iguanas fall out the tree, right? And see how that resonates with you. Whoever's hearing this message, what does that iguana represent for you? Whatever that means for you, that's what needs to let go. That part of you is what's dropping out or falling out, right? Shedding that old skin, which represents a new beginning. So this is all that was coming alive as I was sitting here in the meditation, in the sunlight, really getting these light codes. And I usually play with the light codes. I usually share that with y'all in the beginning, and I didn't, but Let me see if I could. I'm going to turn it around and see if, whoop, whoop, sunlight. There we go. There go the light codes. And it usually, you can usually see the green if it was maybe higher, or if I was at an angle. Wait, did I just see it? The sun rays were going like in all directions. Okay, there we go. Oh, there it go. There go the purple. So you see the purple. Oh, the deep purple is in it today. The deep purple is in it. That's that crown chakra. Tap in, tap in. Get you some light codes. This is for some of you that the sun may be eclipsed for you right now. I'm sharing this with you right now. And you can see it coming out. And you see the little green orb within it. Always coming from the sun, you're going to see that purple first. And then the deep purple is deep, deep hues. So there's a light code, y'all. Sharing them light codes with you. Let me sit back on down. All right. Got y'all light codes? How you feeling? Get them light codes up. Because them solar flares are flaring and the winds are hitting us, and we're getting all the light code information, light energy and information that is hitting not just the earth but us, and helping us to process what we need to process in time. Ashe, ashe. I see pink and purple. Yes, that first one, that pink fuchsia, I call it, because it's really like a pinkish purplish. That's usually the one you always see. And you may see some green coming from it. You'll see the purple coming out. You'll see some green coming from the purple. So lately, ever since the perihelion, around the perihelion time when everything was amplifying with third eye atlas in our field, it has been showing that deep purple. Because I've been doing this for the past couple years, maybe since 2022 or 2023 with the light. And I've never seen the deep purple like how I've been seeing the deep purple now. So that is definitely a sign that the cosmos, we are coming online with the signs of time. Ashe? So with that, let me share with you all the download that I've been wanting to share. And like I said, I've just been getting cut. So I'm going to give that to you now. And these are the downloads from the sun rising. And for those who haven't seen the videos, it's been about the winter solstice, the 3 days of darkness, and understanding that it's time for us to put down that ego, that misappropriated ego, so that we can rise. We've been robbed of this story all this time through the Christmas and holiday distractions that keep us away from what we're supposed to initially do, which is to go into this stillness. Solstice is the sun's stillness, and it's still for 3 days, both on the winter solstice and the summer solstice. So the 21st is that winter solstice, the longest night when the sun, they said the sun dies because it's the least amount of sun, more of nighttime, longer nights. And then it's like that for 3 days. So while the sun is at that stillness, we're having those long nights for 3 days, 3 nights of darkness, which is really to bring us into wisdom. That's that solstice. And then we rise on the 25th, and many cultures have done this. This is nothing new. You can look it up. Other ancient cultures have done this while on the 25th. This is why they chose this day. That is when the sun rises. So our sun sun is the sun birth, that they have chosen the day of that birth, in which that sun is in your consciousness as well. That is your super conscious. That is your Christ conscious, that you are rising into your Christ conscious, more Christ. So on the sun rising, it is a celebration. It is a jubilee, because you have gone through the 3 days or 3 nights of darkness to rise in this wisdom. Let the wise ego be risen. Let your Asar in you be risen. Let that rebirth in your consciousness be risen. And so that nativity scene is the nativity scene that is in you. So when you see that part 1 video, you'll see why I call it the nativity scene, and what is in you, and what do you come out of that. So in the 3 days of darkness, what have you released? What have you let go? What is something that you know no longer serves you in your ego? Not just something that feels easy to put down. Let me look at the lizard, y'all. He didn't. This is the lizard that fell. He didn't came right by me. I can't resist. I gotta show you. That's the green iguana. Look how long his. I told you it's not a regular lizard. It's a whole big iguana. Fell out of that coconut tree right there. You okay, Izzy? What you got for the people? You telling them to shed that skin? Let it fall? Ashe? Message. Put it back on. Message. Yes, he is big. Yes, he is big. He is huge. That's why I heard such a heavy, like, I thought a coconut drop. And when I looked, I saw him looking up, startled, like, what happened? You happened. So this, hey, he looking at me too. Yeah, go about your business. Walk your path. This is his regular path, by the way, that he walks. And this is the message I was getting while Third Eye Atlas had been coming into our path, that as this path is happening, he literally would walk from here to that tree and back again. And the message was always to shed this skin, particularly while we're in the heart chakra, because you see how green he is, right? And the Third Eye Atlas was known as the green comet. So as it was traveling closer and coming to Earth, this is the path that he had been traveling. It's always been this whisper of shed, let go so you can expand, all right? So you're not holding on with contractions and contracting. So as I was saying, these 3 days help us to really go within after the 9th month that points us to the galactic center, because that's what Sagittarius is. Sagittarius is like our window. That's why it's pointing that arrow, window into the galactic center. And it has always been this way. We have always had the opportunity to connect. It's just that the veils were thick. Now the veils are thin, and we're able to see this. More and more are feeling this, even if they don't know what to call it. But those of us who do know can guide and can explain, because we're getting the messages or the downloads, and we can highlight it in a way where you understand and you see what's happening, why something had to come to that culmination as you come through. And imagine if you get that sneak peek into the galactic center, that is like really plugging into source. And so imagine plugging directly into source, which we do. You don't really have to imagine. It happens every time we go through Sagittarius. We're just unaware. And so that comes in and it hits with the force, because the veils are so thin, it's penetrating us right now. With our sun amplified with Third Eye Atlas that help activated it some more, everything is coming with a force, and we're really feeling it. So imagine getting hit with all the direct light code energy and information from our galactic center. That can be overwhelming for us individually, collectively, for Earth, for this entire solar system. This is why things are done in divine order, right? Yes, and I'm in green. I just noticed that, right? And I'm in green. That's because I'm still on Friday, because I'm pushing time. So I'm a little bit behind everybody else, right? This is really should be bedtime for me right now, because of where I am and pushing time. Check out the video that I did with that about oscillating through time and time traveling. A lot of you are time traveling right now. A lot of us are, because we're recognizing that we are the vessels in time. So our movement through time is through us, through the dimensions in our minds. So we are recognizing that, and it is coming online. However, let me go back. I digress. Not go back. Let me go forward. Never backwards, always forward. Imagine getting all of this information that we're getting directly from the galactic center. Now what? Now what do we do with that? We need time to assimilate that through our mind-body complex, through our mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical body. These are all our lower chakras, by the way, that I just named. Okay, the physical is the root, emotional is the sacral, mental is the solar, and the heart is the spiritual, known as the energetic body, the bridge between time, the bridge. Oh, I could go so much deeper into this, but it is the bridge. The heart is the bridge. And so what's happening is, as we get all of that influx of light and information, now we need to receive it. So we need those 3 dark days of darkness. We need the winter solstice to be still after getting that direct contact through Sagittarius to the galactic center. Now we need to be easy. This is why hibernation is important. This is why nature shows us this last season. The year is not over. So for those of you who are feeling this shift in time, and you know that this is not the end of the year, and you know that the true new year is with spring, for those of you who are in alignment with that, good. For those who do not, but you know that something is changing, this is the time to get on that bridge. Find that bridge and recognize that this gives you an extension. So you don't have to feel like, oh my God, it's the end of the year, I gotta do. No, it's not. You have some time. So expand that time. Use the fullness of these 3 months, the last 3 months of the true year, the true cosmic year, the true timeline, to assimilate these frequencies that we have been getting blasted with in a good way, right? Thank you, thank you. You like the earring? My Mama Africa earrings. And so when we get that, that winter solstice gives us the opportunity to be still with all that you've been getting, and then be able to assimilate. And then the 25th, this is why the 25th is so important, because after those 3 days of stillness and the sun begins to move, just imagine if the sun is moving, it's bringing us more light. More light is we're on the ascension in the solar cycle. So it's time for more light. Little by little, it gives us a little bit at a time until we get to the equinox. When we get to the spring equinox, that's when it's time to begin. So you take this time to prepare, and it's giving us enough light, a little bit every day, a little bit more light, a little bit more light, which means a little bit more energy, which means a little bit more information every time. And so take what you can take. The 3 days represent a 3-step process, which I'm going to share with you again, as I did in the video that seems to be cutting. The first day is awareness. There's 3 steps, they're in everything. So there's the awareness, there's the transition, and then there is the conclusion, or the mastery, what you have mastered through the awareness and throughout the transition. So that's what those 3 days, represent. And what you do with those 3 days, you expand it, or you extend it into the 3 months. So in your first day, you realize what you've had awareness to. Now, good. For the month of Capricorn, the 10th month, which is really a 1, so it's the first month, 1, 2, 3, you expand that awareness. Focus on what you've become aware of, what you need to let go, what you have realized with your real eye, and what no longer serves you egoically, like really willing to let that ego go. That's why that iguana fell out the tree. Some of us got to fall like a hard coconut out the tree to really put that ego, that misappropriated ego, to death, right? So I was trying to read side eye, or you getting a side eye, gives us a bombastic side eye with your dog. I don't have my glasses with me, and I've been glaring in the sun, so I'm doing my best to see. I see you're telling us your dog's name. Okay. Nope, did not buy my hair. It's all, this is mine in my scalp. So let me stick to where I was going with that. Bring it back, spirit, bring it back. So yes, first step is awareness. So for that first month, focus on, marinate on what you've become aware of. On the second month, which would be Aquarius, that's expansion of the second day. It's a transition. It's a month about transition through this process. So it's time to work. It's time to move it through you. Move it through your body, your mind-body complex. Work it through your experiences, right? That's how you transition. The way that you're experiencing it shows how you transit, how you move, right? And then the third is the conclusion. That is what you've mastered. So that would be the month of Pisces, the final month of the cosmic years. Those of you who have the 5D calendar, you know what I'm talking about. That closes that out, right? The 1, 2, 3, that's the 3 months of that. And so that's where that carries you. The 1, 2, 3 days of darkness, and expanded into the 1, 2, 3 months of the winter season, or as I call it, the respiriting season, because it's time to re-spirit. It's time to spirit again after passing through the 9th month. Ashe. And remember, the 5D calendars are available. Still can get that. Nafisa, yours is actually on your way. You know, my apologies for the delay. So much was going on spiritually and all around me. So there was a delay on getting it out, but it is actually on its way to you. And I would suggest anyone else who is feeling these changes and shifts to get that calendar, because it's definitely going to help as a helpful tool in shifting into the next timeline, not just because of what it says in the calendar, but because it's helping you to unlock and find your origins of time within you, because you're the time traveler. Ashe. So with that, that pretty much catches us up on those videos in which I was doing the sun rising, and now you see why I was talking about the rebirth being in you. And those 3 days, they could represent other things as well. Usually what I teach with my children is those 3 days gives us a time to rise in our wisdom. Right? Experience teaches wisdom. So each day we have a gift. You know how they say in the story, the wise men brought 3 gifts. The 3 wise men brought gifts, and I told them that wise man is the wisdom that we receive after those 3 days. Those 3 gifts are those 3 days. So there's the gift of understanding in the heart chakra, the highest heart chakra. There's the gift of insight. When you gain enough clarity and truth, you have insight, and that's through the higher throat chakra. And then there's the gift of intuition, that is the higher third eye, which brings you into your wisdom, right? And so then you rise in your wisdom. So we practice when they're respiriting to receive their understanding, their insight, their intuition, and rise in their wisdom. What is the wise dome? What is under your wise dome on the 25th? And what is being highlighted to you? Right? So that kind of speaks for that. And then, here comes the download. There you go. All right. So the 1010, which was right before the winter solstice, was a confirmation of entering into the 10th month of new beginnings, of integrating what the soul has gathered within the 9th month of spiritual completion as a dimension evolution through the soul, because we're evolving through the 9 months. I don't know if I said that already, but it's okay. Maybe we need to hear it twice if I did. Traveling through the dimension evolution through the months of time, as those months equal that infinite 9, right? That's why I was mentioning Sagittarius being at 9, and Black Moon Lilith solidified that by that being her 9th month, that after that she shifted into Sagittarius on the 20th of December after the new moon. So there was that confirmation as well. She had entered into Scorpio and was there for 9 months, and then shifted into Sagittarius. It was like letting you know, yes, 9 months, here you go. The 10th month of new beginnings is a time to begin soul integration through preparation that requires rest. And this rest, the acronym, I look at it as an acronym, is to reflect, to elevate, to shift, and transcend. So it requires rest, respite, and reflection to respirit the soul and calibrate the body to act in alignment with brain-heart coherency and be responsible, able to respond with healthy restrictions that encourages self-discipline. This is the time to practice that. Even through the holidays, whatever they're giving to you, it is time to practice self-discipline. It is time to realize that self-discipline means being able to tell yourself no to something that you've been telling yourself yes to for however long. Self-discipline is being able to not just realize and acknowledge these truths, but to self-actualize these truths, to embody it. This is about embodiment. Coherency is about embodiment. Can you embody what you have been learning? It is time to acclimate that into your mind-body complex, and that is what this triple 10 code was giving us. Now, this 10th month in Capricorn, as the beginning of the respiriting season, after interfacing with the galactic center, as we mentioned, gives us the opportunity to see through the wisdom with clarity what we have allowed the set in us to bring from the underworld, that which has ruled our overworld. So it's allowing you to face that set energy, which is that misappropriated ego that had us set tripping in our soul's journey, with whether we realize it or not. And so if you look on the 5D calendar, you'll see that this month, the Capricorn month, is set because it is about recognizing what we have brought. It's allowing set to bring that forth. Everything, it rules the underworld, so it's bringing it to you. Here you go, here you go. Here's your unhealed wounds. Here's stuff that you've been doing because of your unhealed wounds. Here's stuff that you've been doing because you held fear, you held guilt. You, if you're willing to look that deep and see, because you had fear in your root, you had guilt in your sacral, you had shame in your solar plexus, you had grief and unforgiveness in your heart, blocking it like clogged arteries in your heart chakra. And so, and remember, these are energy centers, these doorways into your consciousness. So it's inviting you to look where you have held these up. What is the set in your consciousness? And that's what was put to death. The ego death is the set death on the winter solstice. And now it's time to really face it and have awareness about what it is. Ashe. And not only that, it's to also give thanks. So see what it has ruled and give thanks that we can identify it to prepare for the transition or death of it through the 11th month in Aquarius, as Anubis prepares to lay it to rest and preserve the clarifications in the heart for the true transcendence into the 12th month in Pisces for a return to the spiritual house of Nut. So I just shared with you, if you follow that, you kind of see how it moves through these 3 months, through Set, Anubis, and Nut, through Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. These are not just astrology signs. These are instructions, cosmic guidance and instructions through the dimensions in our mind, through the evolution through space and time within our mind. All right, this is how we shift. It's about doing the things that makes us uncomfortable. That's the self-discipline, doing it no matter what, like how I'm doing this sacral workshop tomorrow, no matter what. And for whoever it's for, you'll show up. You can email me. It's if you don't get it here, to find out more about the energy update or the sacral chakra workshop, one day, we're going to do it one day. If you don't see it here, all you have to do is go to any one of my videos and look in the description. I put it in every description video all the time for those who are either looking for the calendar or looking to sign up for a workshop. So, oh, I feel the sun just made it shift. So these 3 months culminate the respiriting season on top of the 9th month, the 9 months of spiritual completion for a full 12-month cycle that completes a full year around the sun. So our year begins on that spring equinox, right? And then we're on the ascension time from here on out, a little bit of light more at a time. So there is a solar cycle of ascent and descent as we move around the sun. For a 12-month cycle, as 1 year, we descend for 6 months and ascend for 6 months, which holds a receptive completion from the solstice to the next, from one solstice to the next, right? With intervals of 3. Let me know if you're still here, because it had a little interruption. I told y'all, every time I tried, that's why I had to laugh. Every time, I'm not going to say try, every time I sat down to give this message, there was an interruption, there was a block. Send me some hearts if you're still here. Let me know that the hearts are still pumping or the hearts are still beating for those of you that are still here. If not, I'll just keep going, and whatever is here in the video, you know, you know me, I'll talk to myself. All right, so this is about the creative, as I said, the 3 months of each. There's a quarter. Our whole year is 12 months, but 9 months is the completion of our working year. And each there's a set of 3 in each quarter. A set of 3 months in each quarter. So that's why you have the 4 cardinal signs, because there's 4 quarters with three months in each one. So that's why the cardinal signs start out each quarter, meaning Aries, the first one, Capricorn, the second quarter, Libra, the third quarter, and Capricorn, the fourth quarter. We are in our fourth quarter. You know how they be saying in football, we into the fourth quarter. All right, so where are we in the fourth quarter? All right, as we ascend for 6 months, we move towards more light with the pivotal shift of the new year in the middle, after the first quarter of death, right? So in the middle, which is after the first quarter of death. Okay, so that first ascension, the 6 months, includes this winter season, right? And then in the middle, we have the new year in the middle of this 6 months, new year after the first quarter of death and before the new quarter of rebirth, because that spring is the rebirth. Okay? Which is the scorpionic nature of regeneration. So within that 6 month, you kind of see this scorpionic nature to it, meaning death to rebirth transformation, right? And this is where we will see the transformation in the rebirth leading up to the summer solstice. So as we descend from 6 months, we move towards more darkness after the first quarter of amplified light, because when we hit that summer solstice and the sun is still on the longest day, there's an amplification of light. So after that first quarter of amplified light and life, and before the next quarter of withering and reaping, so that is when we are on the descent, and then after that summer we are now entering into the fall, where it's time to reap, right? So, and it's also a withering time, which holds what I would call a Taurian, may not be a word, but I call it a Taurian nature of abundance and indulgence. So abundance when all this amplified light is happening, and then indulgence because you're now reaping. You're reaping, like, you know, the Taurus, they like to reap and take and keep. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, neighbors, sometimes it's always some distraction. But there's this reaping that we're having. So this was what all the downloads. So I got it out. There it is. Even though there was so much challenge in getting it out, that was the download on this rebirthing. And just to give us an idea of what is happening in the respiriting season, this is an overlapping time, specifically right now while the veil is at its most thinnest. And while Third Eye Messenger is still guiding us, it's still in our solar system, it came the closest to us. Consider that the peak when it came the closest to us on the 19th. And so much was happening in the earth, right? Floods, earthquakes, volcanoes erupting, and so it is within us. If you look at what's happening in the earth, that's what's happening in us. The flooding needs to happen to flush out. That's the waters. The sacral is water, the element of water. So there's a lot of flooding that needs to happen to flush out the old imprints of the collective energy in particular areas. The earthquakes are shaking, the earth is shaking and quaking because the foundations need to be shook. We didn't have good foundations, or maybe we did, but it's no longer serves us. So that whole foundation needs to be ripped up so that we can rebuild a new foundation. Very similar to Jamaica. Very similar to Jamaica. And as I say that, let me remind you that perihelion was pivoting at the moment that Melissa was pivoting around Jamaica in that moment. So there was flooding that happened. The earth moved in so many ways. They probably had earthquakes that maybe they didn't notice because they were so busy focusing on the earth, the heavy winds of the hurricane. And even the wind brings about a destruction all of it is destruction, but the winds are moving debris around because there's so much debris energetically, if you get what I'm saying. The foundations in that place needed to be shaken. The flooding needed to happen for a cleansing, to open the way, cleanse the pores. The portals are blocked and clogged. So when you see doom and gloom, it's a part of the divine orchestrated plan during this time. It's not doom and gloom as we think. It is an opportunity for the earth to rid itself of its parasites, right? Not calling people parasites, but the parasitic energy that has been taking over, so to speak, that has been taking up space in people's consciousness, right? In the collective consciousness, in the earth. The earth holds, just like our body keeps the score and it holds what is through our consciousness, so too does the earth. And so the collective consciousness has left imprints behind. I'm talking our ancestors throughout time. And just like the good book shows you, what they call the good book, good book of lies, but it's a good book of truths as well, if you know how to read it metaphysically. But just like it shows you that what doesn't get taken care of, it doesn't just go away. It passes down through your seeds and the seeds of seeds and the seeds of seeds and on and on and on through the next generation of time, all the way 8 generations through. It's going to keep on showing up. And by the time it hits that generation, they don't know what they got hit with or why. But the memory is in the earth. This is why it's important to be a part of the remembering. Everything that's happening now is bringing us into the remembering. Ashe. So allow this respiriting season to respirit your soul. Nothing goes before you, although it does, if that makes sense. But we have to intentionally and consciously move towards things with the self-discipline in our soul. And it's not just out of words of our mouth. So it is important that we go into our consciousness, that we find where these places are in our emotional body, mental body, that needs to be rewired, right? That is not really firing, but it's putting up a resistance to the light. And we can't hide from the light. The light is coming in no matter what. We are in 5D. We are getting hit with 5th density light from our sun, the server. Some of us are getting 6th density light because you can draw from light beyond the sun. Or 7th dimension, 7th density light, because you can draw from light information beyond the sun, straight through to Mama Universe, to the galactic center. This is the time we are coming online. Ashe, ashe, all in due time. So with that said, I remind us, get in. I'm hearing get in where you fit in, but fit yourself where you belong. Find your assignment and be in alignment by releasing what needs to be released, by finding what you need to find within your soul, finding beauty in order to connect, being able to forgive, which has 2 steps. All right, we forgive to forget the fear-based feeling, and we forgive to give love forward. And also living in gratitude, because gratitude stabilizes the chaos. This is not the time to bicker about anything. We really got to learn to let things go and go within. The only way out is in. I always say it and I stand by that. Let it fly if it doesn't apply. We have to have compassion and let people do what they do. I'm not saying let people abuse you, but you got to know you. Step out of where you have maybe held yourself and hold yourself accountable. There's an account to be held there. Find that account and then clear that account. And once it's clear, believe me, things will shift shape differently. It'll fall away. But you have to be willing to find your way within you through the dimensions of time. Ashe, ashe. 5D calendars. Please get a calendar so that it can help you, particularly with the overlay of these 3 months. And I call it an overlay because when when the 3D world, when the Gregorian calendar goes into their new year of 2026, they will be entering into their universal year of 10, which is really a 1. We just closed out a 9-year cycle, so we're starting again with 1. So that 10 is a 1. And we are entering, while they're entering into that, those of us that have been on the 5D calendar, we have been in a 10-year all year as we are in 2017. And since our year doesn't change till spring, we will be here still until we enter into 2018. So for these 3 months, this is the where we overlap, and this is an opportunity to bridge the gap. Where we overlap is an opportunity to bridge the gap, not just between 3D outside of you and us 5D, but also with between the 3 dimension shadows that still exist in your mind, that has some debris or some residue of 3D shadows that you may still be attached to. All of us have some of it. So it's an opportunity for us to bridge that gap within our own mind to crossing more, releasing more. It's like I could see it, the way I vision it is I could see it like as we're walking on that bridge, that 3D shadow is just falling away from you. It's being blasted by that risen light within you that you keep pouring in. And as you're pouring in, you're letting go. You're intentionally letting go what doesn't serve you first, so that more light can come in. Let me say it that way. Light is not going to come in if you have resistance and blocks and your hands are closed and your heart is closed. Matter of fact, your hearts are your hand. Did I say that right? No. Your hands are your heart. Vice versa. It goes both ways. But your hands represent the heart chakras. As you can see, it's an extension from your heart going out. Hence, why they have them on the cross like this. That's a story for a whole nother day. But from the hands to the heart, right? So what you do also represents your heart coherency in where you are true. So it's what you let go of that opens. When you open your hands, when you open your heart, you open your hands. When you open your hands, you open your heart. That is the heart expansion. And then we can go into the throat chakra, which this winter season is a throat chakra season. So you may have seen winds pick up around you. Some of you may have been seeing the color blue, different hues of blue a little bit more often. You may have seen bluebirds, like my blue jays. You may have seen just different types of expression. You may feel more expressive because we're entering into that season. And whatever you have got through the heart chakra season, which was our last season, and if you have actually been able to actualize it, it's time to express it. We're responsible to be in that expression. And whether people are aware of it or not, whatever is showing up on your heart, this is what the energies are saying. Wherever your heart is, that's what your expression is going to be. No matter how you try to hide it. The veils are very thin, and no matter how you try to smile around things, how people try to smile around you, especially those of you who are sharp in your third eye, you're going to see through, because the expression is going to be so much louder. And because the expression is pretty much tethered through the heart's intention. There's no mask that is going to cloak or hide the true heart vibration. It's going to be like everybody's wearing their feelings on their sleeves. You may even see that. You may find yourself saying that to people, like, why are you wearing your feelings on your sleeve? Because that's how it's happening right now. Everything is out there. Right? 5th chakra is the 5th dimension. That's the throat, expression of creation in time. Watch it as we incline and our souls unwind. Ashe, ashe. So maybe did I say everything else? Any questions, any comments, if y'all are still there? Because ever since the reconnection thing went off, I don't know if anybody is still there. Let me know if you are. If you can, leave a comment or put a heart. If not, then I'm not sure if this part of the message got through, but I shared what I could with you and you and you and you. So this is the part 2 of the sun rising, of the rebirth that is within you, and the nativity scene that is within you. Sacral reminder, closing reminder, is the sacral workshop that I've been guided to share is going to be consolidated into an accelerated pace, everything in one day at only the 1 day price of 33 instead of 66 or 99 for the 3 days step. So I invite you to do that. If you don't have it, don't let that stop you. Don't let lack and limitation be your mindset. Put your foot forward, reach out, email. If you say yes, it's going to say yes to you and we'll be there for you. The class will be there. So, Sacral Chakra Workshop and the 5D calendar. Tap in where you can. And I'm going to leave that there. So, with that said, peace, love, and light to you all. Remember, each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start, start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one, and the next one. Peace, love, and light. Ashe out. Okay.